Hello, everybody. Welcome to the We Love Spring vlog, which is a video log of in which we're gonna discuss several issues that are related to Sprint, the carrier. For those who don't know me, my name is Matthew De Jesus, the administrator of the We Love Sprint fan page, or should I say group. My apologies for not doing this earlier. I've been battling the code for the past few days. I kind of got it under control. Hopefully I can get this blog ready. This will be divided in two parts because there's two major things I want to discuss about. The first one is the hottest topic around Sprint, and is the acquisition of 70% of the stock by a Japanese company named Softbank. People have asked me what's my stand on this. I am in favor of this new ownership and cash infusion for several reasons. It will force change of how Sprint is operated on a day-by-day operations, from management to network maintenance. And speaking about network maintenance, this will include the network vision deployment to be completed, because they'll have plenty of money to complete such major overhaul. And in parts of the country, it has been completed so far, and it's showing signs of life that is actually happening. Another thing that I want to discuss about regarding the Softbank acquisition is the future of the board of the directors and several department heads. Excuse me, and my opinion about it, Dan should stay for a little while. He's not going to be able to stay forever. That's obvious. Will eventually be replaced by somebody else. I don't know when, but I think Dan should stay for a while. But some of the head departments who has been creating this mess that Spring has gotten into, they should leave right away. And it's obvious that many of those are not very happy because, as we found out around a week ago, that the Spring customer advocate group was dismantled. Rather than dealing with a certain issue head on, they just started let's just dismantle the group. That was just a statement by some people because they didn't want to address the issues the Sprint needed to have addressed for quite some time. Now, some people are going to say, we don't want foreign ownership on Sprint. Guess what? Every major carrier has ownership from people who are not in this country, from companies that are overseas, and it's not going to change. It's the way it is. It's the way to do business. And I think that's pretty much what I got to say about it. Alright. I'm going to do a second part of this video about another thing that I wanted to talk about. But I think because I got plenty of time, I can discuss it here. But I will still do a second part on certain subjects, certain minor subjects that people brought to my attention. But this one I got to include it here. And that is everything regarding Windows Phone and the constant campaign by certain sites and certain individuals who write articles, or should I say, people who write articles for three sites like Technocove, Phone Arena, and the biggest pain in the neck regarding this issue, WP Central. And this goes to certain people, especially two writers in particular. And I'm talking about you guys, Mr. Alan F. and Aaron Michael Rowe. For several months, I've been asking to get to the bottom of why Microsoft does not provide direct support for CDMA devices and why there were only 2 devices for the major CDMA carriers like Verizon, US Cellular, and Sprint. And also, I would like to know why, knowing there are so many CDMA carriers in this country, postpay and prepay, why the target has to be Sprint. Is it because of David Owens telling you that Windows phones are not selling the way you guys claim it is? Guess what? Doesn't matter how many Lumia devices Nokia pushes out, but if they're not going to push their main devices outside of GSM networks, the sales figures are going to be awful. Look at the Lumia 900. Almost a year that it was released, and they only sold 600,000 units on AT&T. Do you call that a success? I call that a failure. Knowing there's Verizon, there's T-Mobile, there's Sprint, there's US Cellular, there's Cincinnati Bell, there's Antelos, Credo, US Cellular, I think I mentioned that one. There's Premier, and several regional carriers. Most of them are CDMA based. You getting what I'm getting? I hope you guys are understanding this, because it's becoming very difficult. It's becoming very annoying that I have to deal, or that I have to read almost on a daily basis. How come Sprint didn't join the launch of WPA? Well, let me ask one question. How come? How come Microsoft is still coding their CDMA devices as if we were still in 2005 in terms of encryption? My only thing that I could think about is they are afraid of coding to the current encryption, which is if I'm correct, is a 512-bit encryption rather than 256. And as far as I know, the 512 encryption enables simultaneous voice and data operation with the assistance of EDVO, Revision B, and 1X Advanced. And also it provides better communication for LTE transmission over a CDMA network. That is supposedly it's different radios and all that stuff, but they still need a base network. Is it because GSM carriers are afraid of that monster called simultaneous voice and data? Have they realized it as though it could become the equivalent of HSPA and HSPA Plus in terms of 3G transmission for data and voice? I think so. And Qualcomm has made it very, very clear that the ESVO is nothing that you want to mess with. And for those who are still saying the CDMA is a dead technology that cannot be upgraded, you guys gotta learn a lot more about CDMA 2000. All right, I'm gonna end this first part of this blog, and hopefully I'm gonna address some minor issues on the second video, because this is a double feature. So I'm gonna upload part 1, and then I'll be back recording part 2. Hang in there, people. I'll be back. Thank you, and thank you for watching.